Hey everyone. So, as you know, a few weeks ago, we took a little trip to the southern part of the state, down to Pocahontas County, West Virginia, and I did a few videos, which I'll put some links to those down into the description if you're interested. Uh, but one of the things that I got to do while I was there was go to the Droop Mountain Battlefield State Park. Now, it's a really significant state park for our state because it was the first state park that was established in West Virginia, and the Droop Mountain Battlefield was the site of the last Civil War battle in West Virginia. So, chocked full of all kinds of interesting historical stuff for those of you who are into that sort of thing. Um, One of the things that seems to be typical with battlefields of the Civil War, or any place that there's a tragedy, or any place that there's something that's significant that happens where life is lost and so on and so forth, is that ghost stories crop up. And this Droop Mountain Battlefield is no different. There's a number of ghost stories that circulate about the place, one of which is that you can hear galloping horses, that people have seen headless specters walking about, or that people like you can see a Confederate soldier milling about or napping next to a tree or by a cannon. Um, they do have a cannon. The cannon is by the superintendent's office, and the superintendent's residency is not very far. You can probably see the cannon from one of the windows in the residence of the superintendent. I tried to locate the superintendent to ask him if he ever saw any ghosts out there by the cannon, but I couldn't find him or her. So that's a task for another day. But at any rate, as I said, one of the stories that circulates is that there are horses that are seen, or the sound of galloping hooves are heard. And I have a quote here from the Pocahontas County, West Virginia.com that says, "Reports of ghosts and voices from the Civil War period, having been seen and heard in the park, have circulated through the years since the battle. Reports from more recent years include the sound of galloping horses. A headless Confederate specter has been reported to be seen on more than one occasion, in addition to the figure of what appeared to be a sleeping Confederate soldier lying against a tree." And I'll put the link to this down into the description. All right, so let's look at these claims. One of the things that happens at Droop Mountain Battlefield is that they do Civil War reenactments, and so it's not unlikely that you would perhaps see someone dressed in period clothing walking about at different times of the day or night. Another thing that to address the idea of the horses, well, I'm here at my home, and back behind me you see the field. Throughout the years, a number of times, there have been cattle that belong to people who live a mile, 2 miles up the road that have gotten loose and end up on our farm. So it's not inconceivable that in this land where there's all of this farmland, that someone may have a horse that gets loose. So they have at the battlefield they have a tower that they have reconstructed, or a replica tower, a lookout tower, and it's a really pretty tower. It's again, the scenery here is wonderful. But let me show you the view. I'm going to do a cut scene here, and I want to show you the view that you see from that tower. Okay, now you saw all that beautiful farmland, and in my notes here they call that that tower looks down upon the Little Levels Valley. Um, Again, magnificent view. Now here's the thing that I think is interesting. As you're headed to the battlefield, this is the sign that I saw alongside the road. It has a horse crossing. There was literally a horse farm that was on the way to the battlefield from where we were staying. It is not inconceivable that horses get loose, and a white horse, because one of the stories, I think it's in the Big Book of West Virginia Ghost Stories, is of a white horse. It's not inconceivable that a horse gets loose and it goes walking through the park just one day or night. So, that's, and the horse may not belong to anyone who actually brought horses for the reenactment, because it belongs to someone local. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. So, but that would seem to be more more along the lines of what is possible, as opposed to which is more likely, according to Occam's razor, which is more likely, that a horse from a neighboring farm where we know that there are horses because the sign's even along the road that says so, got loose and meandered through a park and someone happened to see it, or that a spectral horse from some other dimension came back and wanders through the park when conditions are just right. Because that's the other issue with these stories. It's when conditions are just so. So what are these conditions? It makes it really hard to try to replicate a condition when you don't really know what they are. So at any rate, having said that, really it's a interesting place. There's a museum, which I didn't get to go through. It was closed the day I was there, but they have Confederate soldier graves over in one section. They have a cabin that's looks like a cabin that would have been of that time period that's set up there. Uh, just a lot of history. So if you're interested in going without all the stories of ghosts and woo and things of that sort, check it out. I'll put a link down into the description about where you can find more information about the Droop Mountain battlefield. But having said that, I enjoy it? Yes. Were the scenes, was the scenery beautiful? Yes. Did I see any ghosts? No. Did I see that the possibility existed that some people might misconstrue what they saw and think that it might be a ghost? Yes. So, at any rate, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe. It would really help me out. And with that, I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.